so good for you to join us. What am I doing with my eyebrows, you wonder? I don't know. It's just because my face has been blasted off by this laptop's performance. It's absolutely ridiculous. So stick around and check it out.
Are you in the market for an overpriced laptop? Do you want to kill your friends on a couch because it's too easy at a desk? Now you can. You can even make your dinner because you're so lonely while gaming. You can do it on the pooper just because you can. You can also put it into a fridge when things get too hot to handle. Don't delay. The Alienware A51 fits perfectly on that piece of crap old gen consoles. That's what I call style. Get yours now. And remember, this thing will cost you an absolute arm and a leg, but who cares? Thank you for supporting the Stuff You Take YouTube channel. You guys are awesome.
So as promised, we have the Area 51 laptop from Alienware here to review. This is the 51M version, 9700K with a GTX 2080 and 32 gig memory. This thing is an absolute machine. It's 100% enthusiast grade, build quality, spec, everything. Alienware does not mess around when it comes to their gaming laptops, and it shows in the performance. And overall, this thing is just absolutely beautiful. I mean, just look at this thing. RGB keyboard. It's got a nice RGB backlight at the back of the ventilation system. It's absolutely beautiful. This whole trackpad here has RGB lighting. It's absolutely ridiculously beautiful. And it's rock solid. It's heavy. You can actually feel the weight of that performance. I love the overall sleek design. It kind of reminds me of a spaceship, or maybe even something that could be considered to be alien-like. So I really like that. The only thing that I don't really like, or not a big fan of, is the back, which is a honeycomb design, which looks beautiful, but the problem is that these fans suck in so much air that it gets super dusty. So that is not great. I don't think there's actually any other way to deal with it. It just looks really ugly, and you need to clean your machine at least once a month. No, you don't have to take the whole thing apart, but you would need to wipe it off, maybe blow a little bit of air through it. Nothing too major, but just keep that dust out of your system because it builds up really quickly. Having said that, the rest of this machine just looks so beautiful. We've got lots of inputs and outputs at the back. It's got a dedicated LAN port, which is fantastic. It's a gigabit LAN port. We've got HDMI. We've got display port, obviously for the high hertz monitor, which is fantastic. And then on the side, we actually have two USB ports. And on the other side, we've got also another USB port 3.1. And we have a USB Type-C, obviously, as well. Battery wise, you can expect about an hour and a half of gaming performance on it. If you're going to be watching YouTube or something like that, you can also expect to have about 145 minutes of battery life on the system. One thing that you have to note is that when you do run off the battery, your gaming performance will be impacted. So you would need to plug in not one, but two power bricks into the system to get the full-fledged gaming performance out of it. Enough talk, let's see how it performs versus our server and ATX PC. Now, you probably think that this is going to win, and you would be absolutely right. This thing demolished our server and our Pentium ATX gaming PCs. Obviously, we expected that. I didn't think that the Alienware would lag behind, not at this price point, and not with a 9700K 8-core Coffee Lake CPU with a GTX 2080. One thing that is worth mentioning of this incredible beast of a machine is that it's actually running a desktop CPU. That's right, it's running a normal desktop processor. The motherboard has a socket for a desktop 9700K, and it's actually upgradable to a 9900K. And again, normal desktop CPU that you can buy from the shelf and you can upgrade it yourself. The GPU, unfortunately, and more obviously, is not a desktop full-fledged system. It is a GPU that was designed by Dell for Alienware, custom designed for it, but it performs really, really well. Now for the things that I actually like about this system. And a heads up, this is my favorite system out of the three, and I'll tell you why. The fact that it has a screen, first of all, which is fantastic because you can add a second screen quite easily. Now I know you're going to say that, well, you can do that with a PC as well. Of course you can do that with a PC as well, but you have to physically buy another screen to be able to do that. What I like about the fact that I can have a dual screen setup is that if I do take this away with me to the office or wherever I want to go, I still have a 144 Hz screen with me. And when I get home, I plonk it next to my second screen, connect it, and we are off to the races for dual display. When last did you try to put your PC in a bag? It doesn't end well. So for the fact that it's portable, for the fact that it's high performing components in a laptop form factor, and mainly for the fact that it is just a beautiful machine to look at, this is by far my favorite setup. So we're going to have to look at what comes next, which is an RTX. We haven't looked at tablets yet, and we haven't even looked at phones yet for gaming experiences. But I promise you, we will make all of those experiences nice and spicy. So it's not going to be the run-of-the-mill setups that we're going to look at. As you can see so far, none of the setups we've done are run-of-the-mill, trying to do some interesting stuff with them. So if you like this video, subscribe, hit that like button, share this with your friends if you don't mind, and then I will see you in the next video. Get ready for our RTX build.
Are you in the market for an overpriced laptop? Do you want to kill your friends on a couch because it's too easy at a desk? Now you can. You can even make your dinner because you're so lonely while gaming. You can do it on the pooper just because you can. You can also fit it into a fridge when things get too hot to handle. Don't delay. The Alienware A51 fits perfectly on that piece of crap old gen consoles. That's what I call style. Get yours now. And remember, this thing will cost you an absolute arm and a leg, but who cares? Thank you for supporting the Stuff You Tech YouTube channel. You guys are awesome.